Donald Trump, hush money, and a potential indictment that could be coming soon. The New York Times is reporting that the district attorney's office here in Manhattan is signaling Trump will likely face criminal charges over hush money payments to the adult film actress Stormy Daniels. But this is not a slam dunk. The case could pose a big challenge for prosecutors. The Times reports the former president was told that he could appear before a Manhattan grand jury next week if he wishes to testify, a strong indication that an indictment could soon follow. Trump has repeatedly denied having an affair with Stormy Daniels, and he denies telling his longtime fixer, Michael Cohen, to buy her silence for $130,000 right before the 2016 presidential election. But Cohen insists that he has the receipts, personal checks signed by the former president, to reimburse him. Our senior legal affairs correspondent is Paula Reed. She's following this story for us this morning in Washington. Good morning to you. The DA is giving Trump the chance to testify. Do you think he'll take it?
I do not, Don. We know that his lawyers have recently met with the district attorney, and they're concerned because we're seeing this uptick in activity in this investigation. This probe has been going on for about 5 years, but in recent weeks, we've suddenly seen this parade of high-profile witnesses, close associates of the former president, like Kellyanne Conway and Hope Hicks, going to testify before this grand jury. I do not think it is likely that the former president will join that parade of witnesses going before the grand jury. In a statement last night, a spokesperson for the former president dismissed this whole thing as, quote, insane. But the fact that the invitation has been extended signals that this investigation is likely wrapping up and that an indictment is possible.
So, Paula, this is obviously a major development, but it's a complicated legal theory that the Manhattan district attorney is trying to apply here. There are a lot hinges on Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, who has been convicted, right, and has served time. Mm-hmm. So is it a strong case, or does anyone even know at this point?
Look, we know a lot about this, right? Because this case has been out there for years. Some entities have been investigated, some have been charged. So we do know a lot of the basic facts of this case. Look, Don, it's a fact. This conduct is approximately 7 years old. At the core, this is a paperwork crime that would have to be prosecuted on a pretty novel legal theory in New York. And the witness at the center of all this is Michael Cohen. And Don, you know, you've interviewed Cohen, you've spoken with him. Every time he speaks in public, the issue of the former president comes up, and he appears pretty arguably fixated on former President Trump being charged. And any good defense attorney would seize on that and the fact that he is a convicted liar to try to undermine his credibility. And you really need a credible witness to support a case like this. So the larger question is, well, why is the district attorney digging back into this now? We know that he's under a lot of political pressure. It's always possible that they have unearthed some additional evidence, but based on what we know now, this is not the strongest case that the former president is possibly facing as compared to something like down in Georgia, where they're looking into his efforts to interfere with the election outcome there. You have multiple witnesses, you have recordings, you have documents, something like that, even though former president's attorneys will admit they're much more concerned about.
Yeah. But he did go to jail for actually brokering this deal. You know, you see what I'm saying?
He had a lot of legal problems, personal legal problems with the IRS, with his business dealings, beyond just this hush money payment. And I think intelligent minds can disagree whether the National Enquirer, right, did not get enough accountability for this. But again, at this point, it's just about the case against the former president, and it is not terribly strong based on the facts that we know. But of course, we don't know everything.
Yeah. Right on. Thank you, Paula Reed. Can we talk about this possible indictment? Look, not a slam dunk. Everyone's like, is it coming? Is it coming? We don't know for sure. But that's where they said the winds are heading that way. What's your response?
This, you know, not a lawyer, this is probably the case that Trump's least afraid of the plethora of lawsuits, of different investigations he's facing, two within the Department of Justice, the Jean Carroll case, the Fulton County case. This is one that Trump world's prepared to hit back if it goes the way that we're anticipating, to say, this is the liberals still trying to undo the 2016 election. This is 7 years ago. This is a weak campaign finance case. So I don't know that I think this is some kind of a slam dunk. My other caution is this. Trump's usually emboldened when he looks like he's under attack. As we saw after the Mar-a-Lago raid, even really mainstream Republicans, the Dan Crenshaws, the Marco Rubio kind of rallied around Donald Trump, saying this is unprecedented, this is an overstep of justice. I anticipate you may see this.
They said he wasn't going to run until, I don't know if that's true, but remember they said he wasn't going to run until that raid happened, and then this sort of emboldened him, like, I'm going to definitely do it now.
And it emboldens his base because he positions himself, I am your retribution, I am taking these spears and arrows for you. I think it honestly may help him. Doesn't mean justice shouldn't be served, but something like this is hardly going to be Trump's undoing.